Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District, the best DC sports channel that you're going to find out here on YouTube. I'm Nathan Perry. That's my man, the Stoner. And it is the first day of NFL legal tampering. So everything that was done before today is illegal. We're going to be talking about the legal tampering, the free agent signings to be for the Washington Commanders right here on our channel. Of course, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment on the video what you think about the things done on day one of legal tampering. Stoner, what did the Commanders do today during this wonderful period of time? It's like, I think it's the Christmas Eve.
That's right.
You get to open up the presents and then put them back in the box because you can't get them until actual free agency starts.
Yeah, which I think is Wednesday.
Yeah,
so
it's the 16th.
The new
so
league year.
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, Thursday's the new year. All right, so Nathan is coming in hot. Little behind the scenes, behind the curtain deal here. Nathan's coming in hot, so he's not fully up on all of these. So we're going to get his instant reaction to some of these moves. Some of them you already know, but we got to go over them. So there have been basically two signings that they've had so far. Okay.
I do not know about these. I've been busy day at work, and so I'm just getting back. So let's
one
hit
of them
me with those. Okay.
You know it's Trapke season.
Yeah. Okay. I got that one. Trapke season.
Right. So
Good
you
for
already
him.
knew
Special
that.
teams ace.
Cool. Yeah. People like to make a big deal about this, about how he was drafted as a corner and he played in camp, safety, whatever. You need guys who play special teams.
He's fast. He's good at special teams. He's making a couple $1 million. It's fine.
If that.
It's cool.
Right. Yeah, he's fine. All right. The other one you probably know about also, but if not, it's not really a big deal either. That is Tyler Larson.
Center, good to have, as Washington Commanders found out last season.
Yeah,
good to have some depth there at the center position, as they ended up, I think, playing 5 centers on the year, if I recall.
It was rough.
Can recall correctly.
So he's coming off of an Achilles tear, and the starting center, Chase Rouillet, is coming off a broken leg. So those two are both under contract coming in, and Keith Ismail, I believe, was signed some sort of rookie deal extension, whatever, a while back. So they've got their centers. That's it, Nathan. Sorry. That's all they've signed.
That's all they've done
so far.
Okay.
They don't have a lot of space, right?
They don't. I'm also not concerned that they're not signing anybody now. This is a front office that has, over the last 2 years, made signings in the second and third days or periods of free agency, and have gotten some pretty good names there. Darby, I think, was a good selection, for instance, in that one. So I mean, you're looking at some of the fan favorites from last year, right? Carter is somebody who was signed not right at the beginning, not a name that people were too excited about, but they ended up loving him. Fans ended up loving him as a returner. So I don't think it's too much to panic right now. You did bring up the fact that they don't have a lot of money thanks to that Wentz trade. Is there a move that you would like to see?
Well, I mean, on the top of everybody's list, I think for sure is JD McKissic, right? Everybody wants him back.
All signs pointing to him not coming back.
Yeah, even though they've had discussions, both sides have put it out there that they want to come to an agreement. But look, if he can make more money somewhere else, he's going to do that. It's a business. He doesn't have a lot of years left. He's a running back. He went down last year with a season-ending injury. So I'd like to see him back, but you got to have, if you don't have him, you got to have somebody who can do his job. And maybe that's Curtis Samuel. Maybe Antonio Gibson can step up. Maybe you get just some guy out there.
Was somebody there? Running backs.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams. They did re-sign him.
Yeah, tend to be a bit more replaceable. Now, JD did amazing things in the offense. You can see when he was out, much like Logan Thomas was out, the offense just felt different. Like it wasn't as good with those two out. So you need somebody to replace it.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have that person on the roster unless Jarrett frickin' Patterson decides he's going to start becoming a pass catching back. It's
Yeah.
you're probably going to have
Y-
to look elsewhere for that.
We'll see. All right. So you want the guys who have left.
Yeah, let's hear that.
All right. You know the one. You
The
know
big
Brandon
one.
Sheriff, right?
Brandon Sheriff
And how
is a
did you feel
Jag,
about that?
not just another guy,
Yeah.
but
He's an actual Jag.
he's I was big on wanting him back. I mean, he's an all pro guard. I know people think that that's replaceable, and I know that the stat was shared. I think Ben Standig had tweeted out the stat where Washington is 2-20 in games without Sheriff.
Yeah. Including
So
the last 14 in a row they've
the last
lost.
14 in a row that they have
That he hasn't
lost.
played.
Now, that is 22 games missed, right? That's a lot of games missed here in the 4 years. Quality. I mean, again, he's an all pro. You want that on your team. He went to Jacksonville for more money than Washington was wanting to give him. Jacksonville
could give him
too.
Yeah.
Jacksonville spending big right now.
Oh,
That's pretty interesting, surrounding their young, talented QB with some talent. You love to see that for an NFL team. But yeah, Brandon Sheriff, we knew he was going to walk for a while now.
Yeah.
Mayhew had talked about that, and then he kind of apologized for talking about that, about how the talk soured. They offered him the large contract. He turned it down.
Yep.
And
well, let's say he had taken that large contract a while ago. Maybe they couldn't have done the Wentz deal then. Maybe they wouldn't have had enough.
They would have had to been more.
They would have had
done.
to move some. Yeah.
I think a big name, not one for but in the same lines. It's not a Washington name, but the Steelers did sign Mitch Trubisky, and kind of coming through that, there was also talk that Carson Wentz was a target for Pittsburgh. So, for Washington to have secured the QB that they wanted, they needed to trade. They couldn't wait to free agency because they're not the first in line. You don't have a lot of these top names looking at Washington, especially because they can't open up that pocketbook. So, not signing Sheriff, I do think led to getting Carson Wentz because they had the space, because they didn't make that contract. Of course, you could also say that they could have worked something out where Indianapolis keeps, that 28
some of the contract or something.
Something like
and
that.
Maybe a higher draft pick we would have had to give up, something like that. Yeah, they could have probably worked something out. All right, so here's one you have not heard. This is the last one that affects Washington. Tim Settle signed with the Bills. Tim Settle is gone. The Penguin Dance man. He is gone.
Good for him. Great player. Good team.
Great.
Okay.
Great
good
player.
Good player.
I mean, he's a backup.
He's a good player, but he's backup behind 2 first rounders. One of them is a Pro Bowler, could be considered all pro. To me, he is top 5 defensive tackle. And I think Payne is pretty up there as far as defensive tackles are concerned as well.
Yeah.
But if you're back up to Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I don't know what his role will be in Buffalo, if he gets more playing time, if he can keep up that standard. I mean, sometimes these players are effective in their roles because they don't get, constant snaps, right? They don't.
Yeah.
So they're not as tired. They're a little bit more fresh. It hurts to lose him. That's great depth on the line. I think that he was effective when he was in. I'm happy to see, though, that he went to a team that really could go deep in the playoffs again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And, potentially further. You love, if it's a good player, it's a player you like. I know a lot of people question Brandon Sheriff going after the money in Jacksonville because it doesn't seem like they're poised to win any more games than Washington is, but it's their livelihood. It's what they want. So, but it's nice to see them go to a team. It's also nice to see both of these players go to AFC teams.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't have to play them and see that revenge game.
Yeah, that's right.
And especially, again, I know a lot of people like to fault Sheriff, but he's an all-pro guard.
Did we play Jacksonville this year? Well, maybe not. No, they
We
were
do
fourth
actually.
place.
We do
Oh, we
play
do. Yeah, yeah.
Jacksonville. That is actually so that it will be a
Yeah.
matchup that we see.
Don't worry,
And
he won't be
then
playing.
he might
He'll
not be
be out.
playing.
Yeah.
And then maybe his record for Washington then will be 3-20 because
Yeah, right.
we'll win a game with them out.
Yeah.
But then Tim Settle in Buffalo at AFC. So this is good for those
Good.
guys.
Yeah, good for
Unfortunate,
them.
you mentioned JD McKissic as a
Yeah.
signee, that we're still hoping might come, even though it's looking more and more likely. Is there anybody else on that list that you would like? Who's still the free agents that Washington can lose?
Okay, so you ready? And see if any of these guys concern you if we lose them. Now, Cam Sims has been rumored to be
It's
signed.
likely
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure.
re-signed.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
if
So
they use him, great. I mean, he's their tallest receiver. It'd be nice.
I mean,
if they
again, he's a depth guy. He's just a
he's
guy
a depth guy. But
you
I mean,
don't
if at
want
this
to see him
point,
on the field.
why don't you just draft another wide receiver for your fourth or fifth wide receiver?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's still
He's going to be
relatively
cheap.
cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be cheap, and I
Yeah.
do think that there's some talent there. I think that there's some things that
Sure.
he doesn't do well, but
Yeah. Yeah. He's
for a
just depth
fourth
guy.
receiver, he's not bad. He's pretty good for a fourth receiver.
All right. Who do you want to keep out of these free agents for Washington who are still free agents? Bobby McCain. Just give me a snap judgment. Do you want to keep him?
Bobby McCain, I think that one of the reasons why you want to keep him is because he doesn't hurt your chances of getting a compensatory pick for the Wentz deal. Because he was on your team. So that's something to keep an eye on as far as that. So, with Sheriff, with Settle signing elsewhere, the only person they've brought on so far, and that was via trade, so it doesn't count against Washington, is being able to potentially get a third round pick in a draft. So
next year though, right?
Next year. I believe it's next year. So McCain, I believe signing McCain doesn't hurt them either because he was on the team
already.
They're signing him back to the team, so you don't lose a player in free agency. So I don't think that would hurt. He's also probably the cheaper option at safety for the team. He's familiar with the team, and he did show flashes there towards the end of the season. I know there was several times where we were screaming at him on our live streams that he was the cause of some miscommunication, but I do think one more year, I think he could potentially be a good option if Washington can't find their safety in the draft.
Yeah. Adam Humphries.
I liked him. I think that he was good. I just think that you can replace his production
with anybody.
And plus, again, this is such a wide receiver heavy draft.
Yeah. All right. Ricky Seals-Jones.
They didn't get Wentz. This is the name that I was actually thinking about when not Wentz, sorry, but they didn't get Wentz's blanket. They Ertz. So I think Ricky Seals-Jones, keeping him here on a cheap deal as a move tight end. I think that the fact that they're willing to go for Ertz shows you that they want some depth behind Logan Thomas, who's coming back from a pretty serious injury that he didn't get taken, have surgery until December. So you're looking at him kind of coming into those preseason games, still
probably not even ready.
A little bit. So, everyone should know by now, I'm a big Sammis Reyes guy, but I just don't think he's going to get there. And I think that he's got a little bit of that Laron Landry thing going on right now. He's been hitting the gym a lot and he's been beefy. He might be able to, replace Tim Settle by the time the season starts.
Right. Hey, that's a good move. That's moving to defensive line. All right, here's a couple defensive backs. Danny Johnson, Darryl Roberts, and Torrey McTyer.
Thank you all for your service to the Washington Commanders. It was great to cheer you on, especially McTyer, but not a priority.
All right, couple guys in the trenches, one on each side of the ball. Daniel Wise and Cornelius Lucas.
I mean, if Lucas is a decent depth person,
serious Jags.
But but these aren't names that you're upset to see. Tim Settle leaving, that hurts pretty big.
Yeah.
Brandon Sheriff, I know a lot of fans were okay. There were a lot of what I did see, a lot of people waving him goodbye. But no, these Yeah, Luke, like I said, Lucas is depth wise. I think he made a
Depth.
couple decent plays for the
Yeah.
team, but yeah, this is replaceable talent.
All right, last one, restricted free agent. Joey Sly.
Oh, you gotta sign
You got to
him.
sign him, right?
You
He's the
need the
best thing
kick.
that
You need a
happened.
kicker, and he's been probably the most consistent kicker in his short time. I know that he got himself injured, but they've kept him around. You know, they had the replacement kicker come in for him during his time on IR, but
Not
he's got
good.
a leg.
Yep.
And he's been pretty consistent. So I would like them to stick with Joey the leg.
Joey Sly. Yeah. All right. So just a few things about free agency in general. Obviously, just like always, you even talked about it. The Jags are throwing all kinds of money out there, which is great. I mean, they've been bad for so long. Good. Throw all that money out there. Support Trevor Lawrence. One of the guys they got, I think that's where he went, is Christian Kirk, right?
Yep, Christian
For
Kirk.
$84 million. For
Set,
a guy who's
set
never
the bar.
had 100 catches.
Set the 1,000 yards. Never had 1,000 yards. Set the bar for everybody. And this is why a lot of people want Terry to be re-signed right now. And one of the reasons why you want to sign him right now is because the deals are only gonna get higher.
Sure. But the cap's gonna go up too again.
The cap's gonna go up too. But what I'm saying though is this year, Kirk already set the bar for how low the contracts are going to be. DK Metcalf, these guys are all
a bunch of guys,
for a contract. And so the first one to sign, so the agents know they're trying to hold off because DK Metcalf signs for 120 million. What do you think Terry McLaurin's going to get?
Sure.
His value to the team, the fact that he's had 2 back-to-back, 1,000-yard seasons. This is somebody who's going to cost you a pretty penny when it's all said and done.
But again, right now, can you
every bit?
Can you even afford them right now with the way you are?
No, they have to do some restructuring. One of the things I
restructuring.
think is very interesting so far in this is they have not, or you've not heard any talk, at least about restructuring Wentz's contract, because that's an option, and that could free up a lot of space for Washington. I am pro sucking it up this year as his contract, not the team. I want the team always to do well.
Yeah.
Take the 28 million hit this year. If he's not good, if he ends up not being the savior next year, he's free. You cut him.
Gone.
Just like goodbye.
Start all over again.
You don't cost us anything.
Yeah.
To cut.
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, so I'm okay that they have to restructure some of the other contracts. There's quite a bit of contracts that they can restructure, some cuts that they can still make to free up a little bit of space. Again, for our Commanders fans, just don't get too excited for these big names. I know there's quite a few people who have been throwing out the best safety names. They've been throwing out some of these quality, I just saw Washington on the Daily. Check them out on Instagram. They did a Devontae Adams uniform swap. Don't get too excited about that because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Even if he says he's not going to play under the franchise tag, he's not coming to Washington. Sorry. I'd love it. I'd love it, but
you can't afford him. And I mean,
you can't even afford Terry right now.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what trades what moves they make tomorrow.
Yeah, we got another whole day of this tomorrow.
But these are the moves they made that first day. I give them an A+. Not really. It's incomplete is realistically what it's given, because they're not signing anybody of note.
No.
So how about you,
not tomorrow.
Stoner?
Yeah, not tomorrow. I mean, they just don't have the cap space right now. They can make cap space, but right now they don't have cap space to go out and sign anybody of significance. They're not signing Bobby Wagner. They're not signing any of these safeties or these wide receivers because they don't have the money. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. If anybody gets restructured and signed, I highly doubt it, because you still got to sign some of these other guys for depth. You still got to sign your draft picks. You only get so much money. So unless they restructure, don't expect anything.
Well, that's going to do it for us. Let us know in the comments who you would like to sign. Are you one of these people who would like the team to restructure Wentz and sign one of these big name safeties? Let us know in the comments. And until next time,
What's that?
be a fan.